Okay, so I made a video talking about why animals are acting so weird. Okay, right? It's tied to this cosmic reset. But I sort of forgot to mention another aspect of that, and that is this sort of psychic or astral memory. Okay, because sometimes people will talk about this thing called island tameness, where you can go to this island and this animal or creature, maybe even a mammal, will they won't be afraid of people. Okay, and they'll say, well, because they will say that they haven't learned to be afraid of them. They haven't learned to be afraid of people, right? Because they were kind of remote due to this being on an island, right? But that doesn't really make total sense, okay? Because animals are constantly sort of cycling out. What I mean is, these animals are always dying, or they are giving birth to newborns. So these newborn animals never encountered people. So how do they know to be scared of us? Right? Some animals just seem to have this natural inclination to be skittish or weary or afraid of us or even avoidant. So either, I mean, it's not likely that, right, animals can communicate with each other, but not at the level where all of these species are communicating to their newborn. They're these things that look like this and be scared of them, right? That's probably not happening. So how do these animals, these creatures know to be afraid of people, right? They never encountered them before. They're newborns, right? Or they were newborns at one point. So that really doesn't make sense. What I believe that it is, there's some type of astral or psychic memory at play, right? Where these creatures, okay, they will have enough sort of bad encounters with people, right? Disharmonious encounters with people. And when they have enough of them, and well, these experiences are sort of downloaded in this sort of psychic or astral memory bank. And each of these sort of species or creatures, they each have one, right? When they're born, they have this sort of, specific vibration or frequency that sort of connects them with this sort of psychic or astral data bank of sorts. And they have these experiences, so it turns into this sort of almost psychic or astral instinct where they've learned they've downloaded these experiences, so now they know to be skittish or avoidant of people. Okay, so but with this cosmic reset, with this solar reset, those memories are sort of being erased, right? Because it's a reset, right? In the same way that you can sort of clear the memory, the cache, the cookies in your browser, right? Your internet browser, that's sort of what's happening. Because I believe that these memories are sort of stored in, the cloud in a sense, right? Basically, Earth's aura, okay? Or maybe even, um, different regions or areas can have their sort of, how a forest can have an aura to it. Well, that's a real aura. And, maybe it's stored in there. Or, but still, those auras are part of Earth's aura. That's still being stored in Earth's aura. But it's like the aura is being, you know, it, it's like the aura is resetting. Okay. So it's like those cookies, that cache, those cookies, those memories are being cleared. Okay. So some of these creatures, right, these say more domesticated creatures, they are acting more sort of, skittish or even hostile because they forgot not to be scared of us, or they for at least forgot to that they could tolerate us, right? And then some of these wild creatures are acting more, docile or even friendly because they forgot to be scared of us. Because that sort of psychic or astral memory is being cleared because, you know, of this uh, cosmic reset, this solar reset. Everything's sort of being um, rebooted and cleared. Kind of like when you can reset your computer to like its default factory setting in a sense, right? That's kind of is what's is happening, okay? And that's why there's kind of this dissolving of this timeline, right? Because we've been in this sort of, you know, pocket reality, this timeline, which was sort of this, um, astral realm in a sense, right? Which is again, part of Earth's aura. So that is going to be, that's why this timeline is ending, okay? Because um, it's going through this cosmic reset, right? So that is another reason why there is this sort of weird behavior in creatures, but not just that, but also with people, because we've been also sort of connected to this the memories of this timeline, right? Not just, you know, in that sort of, there's different names for it, right? Some people call it the collective unconscious, or what is it, the Akashic records. I believe that may be how it's pronounced. But we're connected to this realms, this timelines version of that. But also, right, there's this you know, Gaian people astral memory, this sort of shared memory, right? This database, this data bank. And that's also sort of involved with our sort of collective trauma, right? Um, our personal and collective trauma, which is kind of being, resolved and cleared as well, right? So that's why there's been this sort of release and relieving of, you know, regional trauma, like traumas of countries, animosity, even personal things, right? If you were like told, um, you're so stupid growing up, that is sort of being, that goes into that sort of memory bank, right? All that is being sort of cleared, right? So it's like we're going to have this sort of fresh, clear slate in a sense.